What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in with Callie. Please subscribe if you haven't already. So, listen to the press conference yesterday from Lawrence Frank along with Ty Lue. It pushed perspective around a lot of things. Now, I know the last video you guys, I told you guys about my sources and everything, saying Kawhi is fine and everything. And Kawhi is, he's fine. But the one thing, a lot of us were not aware about was the fact that he had a knee procedure this offseason. Now, with that being said, some reports say it was later in May that he had a procedure. Some say it was a little later than that, maybe a month or two ago in regards to the offseason. And it's just a lot of different things going around specifically. But that's the one thing, a lot of us, including myself, didn't know that he had a procedure. And you can actually look on Yahoo Sports and, Shams and a lot of other, reporters that report these things and have all more insight on that specifically. But where we are now, Kawhi is not going to, they're based upon what Lawrence Frank was saying and in his press conference along with Ty Lue, they're going to hold Kawhi out of maybe the first few games or if, the preseason and training camp for a little bit, save him from himself, basically, and let his knee strengthen, more. And, this is kind of like, it's no kind of, this is negative news, in regards to Kawhi Leonard, because, cutting into that knee again is never good. Anytime you cut into your skin to get any type of surgeries, as an athlete or anything like that, it's never a good thing, never at all. Especially like when you've had multiple surgeries before, and Kawhi has had multiple surgeries now. Specifically, hopefully it's not the same knee. It's no indication specifically which knee it is. Hopefully it's not. You hope it's really not neither of his knees, because that doesn't give you any hope in regard to him sustaining his health, throughout the season, along with going into the playoffs also. So, I mean, this is one of those situations where I feel like, you kind of got to expect the worst, but hope for the best. I don't know if I put those words the right way, but I mean, in this situation with Kawhi, that's pretty much, where it is, at this point. And, listening to that, hearing that, with the reports coming out and everything, and then listening to Lawrence Frank and Ty Lue in the press conference like last night and everything, it kind of puts perspective also on everything, like I said earlier in the video, but it also puts perspective on, why you might have heard more rumors, that I actually even spoke about myself, about them wanting or possibly looking into or listening to trades for Kawhi Leonard, which, the Warriors were the team that, was in the forefront, this offseason, because you heard me talk about it in multiple videos. And you can check those videos out too, once you, check this video out. But either way, this is the reason why, you probably heard those rumblings, and the reason why the Clippers were listening probably, to the Warriors to see if what their offer was very, very, good for the Clippers to get something in return, or just keeping their ears open just in case, So this might be one of them situations also where I said in one of my previous videos that, during trade deadline of this upcoming season, off season, if Kawhi does not stay healthy, then there's no reason for me or you or anybody else to believe that the Clippers would not be even more open to trading Kawhi Leonard if they were able to get the right, pieces back. And honestly, you never get the right pieces back because, this is a superstar compared to possibly role players and future picks. But at the same time, future picks could be your future, and the role players can benefit you a lot more if, they stay healthier than what, Kawhi does, because even though Kawhi is a superstar, your best ability is availability. And if you're not available, it doesn't matter how great of a player you are. It's still not going to result in anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's no different. Like if you had a bunch of role players on your team, most teams would probably say that's never better than having a superstar. But in some case, some might say it is if they're healthy enough to play and at least contribute, whereas a superstar is never healthy enough to play for you to win. So, I mean, Honestly, you could look at it from two different ways. I personally, from what I'm hearing and everything and a lot that's been put in perspective, I think Kawhi will be fine. And he is fine because, like I said, Kawhi he had the procedure. It wasn't, a big hoopla type procedure at the time that it happened because it didn't get leaked out. And it's finally getting leaked out now. But I mean, he probably more so had that procedure probably months ago, and he's just starting to really get around to, getting back to himself and acclimated and getting more strength in the knee, which is a positive thing at the same time. But it also puts perspective on the reason why the Olympics didn't work out for Kawhi Leonard also, because he wasn't really, in their eyes, he wasn't really healthy enough to, put up the type of effort that he usually does when he is healthy. And I think they wanted to save him from himself from getting hurt even more. Plus, with Ty Lue being on the Team USA and all that as well, they wanted to make sure Kawhi is, right and healthy going into the season rather than just playing, Olympic basketball, which is totally understandable. So, I mean, this puts a lot of perspective around a lot with Kawhi having knee issues and everything like that. But he's had knee issues before. And, he's had knee issues way back in San Antonio. He had, in Toronto. He had knee issues way back then, 5-6 years ago. And he still found a way to win a championship. He still found a way to be healthy enough to lead his team to a championship. So in this situation here, the Clippers are going to have to do what I spoke about a few videos ago in regards to you got to play Kawhi 55 to 65 games. If he can play that much, if he can hold up that much, 55 to 65, it can't be no more than that because you got to give him time enough to rest and be healthy enough or try to be healthy enough for the playoffs if he's able to go 55, 65 games this season. So, I mean, that's where we are with that specifically. As far as the report of Kawhi himself, like I said, I heard he's doing great. He's moving well. He's not really showing no signs of slowing down. But as of right now, the Clippers are being more precautious with Kawhi and like holding him back and just getting more strength and conditioning with his knee just to make sure everything is okay, which is not a bad thing. I'll never say that's a bad thing when a team is trying to look out for a player. I just think that, the Clippers, sometimes they go the wrong way. They go about the wrong way trying to get things accomplished. And to me, when you look at Kawhi and his situation, that 68 games he played last year, that was awesome to watch him play that many games because we haven't seen him play that many games in a while. But that's really not suitable for Kawhi long term. So, I mean, you have to, if you want to get the best out of Kawhi, you got to stay in that 55 to 65 game range. And, maybe, somewhere in there and keep it, at that to give him extra time to rest and give him extra time to be prepared for the playoffs. I mean, I know it sucks, but at the same time, with his degenerate knees in which, and his quad injuries he's had and other injuries that he's had, you have to kind of be weary with Kawhi Leonard in that way. And you have to kind of accept the good with the bad with him, which I'm pretty sure most teams would accept because they know how exceptional of a player he is when he's right. So with that being said, we just got to wait and see and hope for the best that he stays healthy. Like I said, Kawhi is in good spirits from what I'm hearing. He's moving well. He's not moving awkwardly or anything like that. He's not really worried about it from what I'm hearing. He seems confident that everything will be fine. So as long as he's confident, it gives us a little bit of hope, maybe not a lot, maybe a little glimmer of hope, but I mean, it gives us some type of hope. And hopefully we can, rest on that. And you just got to hope that the season plays out to where he can play at least most of the games and kind of sustain his health and, have enough rest also before entering the playoffs.